single round that's going to play out, because, I mean, you can't ignore a player like that, especially a player that focuses their gameplay around the operator. It's something you can't just completely disregard. So, I mean, you could say that the recipe is almost similar, but again, it's a different level with G2.
Well, it's time to kick off the lower bracket final. Fabriken and Prodigy, and the action's already starting. Boys, take it away.
Has already started, indeed. 5 frags going down, 3 in favor of the defending side, though. Pura at least cleans up 1 whilst going forward, and they will still start to head towards this B site as Leo comes out, but Leo again onto Pura will stop him from intruding his B site. Shadow comes in to clean things up, and that is going to be the opening round there. And I mean, this one could be a little bit of a blowout for sure, but that pistol round is certainly going to help out Fabriken here on the defensive side, because Prodigy opting to attack first, and Prodigy, who are very much the favorites coming into this series and coming into this map. But Prodigy looked good on split in previous times we've seen them, and if they had have won that pistol, then this could have been an absolute steamroll.
Yeah, and again, it's got to be a consideration. Fabriken are coming in hot after a victory over Party Parrots. Obviously, coming back into this series now, you'd expect them to try and carry that momentum over. Again, on the back of a couple of good performances. No Sage on the side of Fabriken. Something to note potentially is we're going to see a B execute come in here. I say an execute, an all-out rush. A couple of players locked out in heaven right now behind these sky smokes, but everybody now coming for the collapse for the retake. Leo, Latex, and Zipan will all find kills. Now in a 5v2, Leo will find a second, and it's just Pora who's got to tuck his tail and head back into Garage. But he is not long for this world. The flashpoint comes out, and Meadow will pick himself up a Bulldog headshot, and that'll be a second round on the board for Fabriken. Pretty straightforward stuff on the 5-man Garage rush.
Yeah, I mean, at least Prodigy were able to get the spike down. That's the main factor here, as now Fabriken take those same weapons into this next round. Still using the Marshall and the Spectres and a Bulldog. Actually, as I say, that Shadow is going to upgrade to a Judgy Boy. But still what should be a winnable round for Prodigy here. So it's whether Fabriken try and do something a little bit different. It does look like they are going to push heavily towards A here.
Okay.
They will be greeted by 2 players, but they're high up on the wall. Zipan gets 1 onto Pura. And Latex follows up getting the second, so the push has been successful, means they'll take the op off of Lucker as well. Turco has traded out onto Shadow, so it's still a 3 versus 3. But the damage certainly been done already to the economy.
Oh no.
Hip manages to find Zipan just strolling on in. It is just going to be Latex here. Does have the op. Misses with that one, and Hip will punish him for it. Prodigy put their first on the board, but losing 2 players isn't great for their economy, but the fact he's been able to rescue the op at least helps out there.
Again, though, I like that decision-making from Fabriken. They immediately make a play with the Spectres out on A main. They try and, damage limitation, get some of those guns off the board for Prodigy, go for an aggressive counterplay on defense. Prodigy with a fantastic response to it, obviously, to get their first round on the board, but I talked about this earlier. That's not something we've seen from Fabriken, which is that decisiveness, Dan, which is being proactive.
Well, Prodigy now with weapons in hand and a round on the board. Are they going to be able to assert their dominance? Lucker, who all tournament long has been operating successfully. And there is the opening pick yet again. Shadow will fall. Latex will drop a couple of Sky Smokes to try and keep them out, but then Sky Smokes come from the other way just to ensure that they can get this spike down and take the site successfully. And for Prodigy, they've got the site, they've got the post-plant positions, they've got all the tools they need to win this round. It's just going to be a case of whether they can execute it. And Hip finding an op means that he can get one as well. And Fabriken saying, we don't want any of this. And they're just going to save these rifles, quite rightly so.
Yep, keep 3 alive. Make a play for the next round. Again, they don't want the economy to run away from them. There's a player over here in the defender's spawn. You can see Pora looking to try and clear this out, and actually Zipan going to find 2 of them. They're actually going to take 2 weapons off the table. Prodigy, and that's good work from Zipan. Again, trying to keep it on a level playing field. I don't know if we're going to see any sort of force up, because I really don't think... Actually, I'm not sure if we're still... Do we still have the bug with the armor icon on the scoreboard? I'm not sure if we do, Dan.
Yeah, if they've taken it from the previous round, then the armor sometimes doesn't show up.
So we do have weapons across the board and armor as well. So actually, very worthwhile keeping the 3. The 3 alive, I mean, from the previous.
Zipan has Showstopper available to him. And we've seen him hold this spot before as well. Gets the first, and it's whether he follows up with a Showstopper. No, he just backs off. Not wanting to give up too much here. Maybe feels like that Showstopper might be more important elsewhere, but here comes the Showstopper, but again, denied. Lucka sending a bullet right through the crotch of Zipan. And Showstopper, lack of kill count goes up 1 more. And I remember the early days of when Raze came out, that Showstopper felt like no one could kill it. And every single time it would get a frag on the board, but people wise to it now, expecting the blast packs to eject someone out of a corner. Prodigy down to just the 3. They have been able to get themselves into B heaven here, Hypok.
Yeah, Lucka with the patience to hold this angle on stairs, just waiting for somebody to slip up. You see now Turco going to try and move up a little bit with him. Lucka's going to drop the wall down there. Leo's going to find 1 headshot. Actually going to use the dismiss to break away from the danger, but Lucka still finds an operator headshot as he backs up onto site. Spike will go down next to the box. Little aftershock coming through there. Shadow's actually going to find Lucka with that. It's huge. That could make this retake a lot easier. It is a 1v3 for Rhyme. We've seen him come up clutch a few times. The wall's still blocking stairs. Actually, no, it is broken, so he's going to have an opportunity to walk down here, but no utility to really deal with this without peeking out. But actually, yeah, he's going to find 1 onto Meadow. He's going to pop the Showstopper. He's going to find a second, and actually the diffuse is off. Latex. He's actually going to shut him down. I thought there was a chance there where we was going to read into that, but invest in the shot. I mean, nearly pulled it off, Dan. It was a valiant attempt.
It was interesting he opted to go for the Showstopper shot on the
not
member
on the
that
diffuser.
he knew. Well, he saw him there, but me personally, when I'm popping out there, I'm instantly locking my crosshair to where that spike is being diffused. Maybe he would have just been drilled by the other player on site if he had done so, but very decent attempt from him. Shouldn't have had to really find himself in that situation, but you said the aftershock was sublime. Lucka just held on through just to ensure they got the plant because they were late to the party getting that spike down. Lucka boosts himself over, but he's hit by the stun. Latex can take him down, but there's just trades all over the place at the moment. Turco gets 2 of his own. Turco, yet again, just being a sheer driving force of this squad. What is it with people on Brimstone just being aim stars? Like, and why aren't they playing someone else?
Again, you know, Brimstone could be looked at as kind of the hard carry outside of the duelist roles. We're actually going to see Shadow get a freebie on Pora as he comes around to walk peek the bottom of A main. Now Rhyme going to head up, but he's going to be greeted by Latex if he's not careful here. As you see, he's going to peek round onto that spike. Will go down. Latex will find 2. Those are pretty easy for him, just peeking 1 by 1. Now, 4 rounds to 2, and you can see now Prodigy, I mean, they're going to invest the armor onto Hip, it looks like, and maybe a Ghost, and there you go, a couple of other weapons popping up now. A Sheriff, maybe a Spectre or 2, and looking like we've actually got, I mean, they're going to be able to fall by next round anyway. But maybe going to look for something really hyper-aggressive here. Looks like it's going to be A as the option.
Yeah, all 5 of them there. Defensive line from the side of Fabriken, but it is an op that's going to be available for them. The Leah comes out just to block the vision. Insin does so much damage to everyone. Hip is going to pop Empress here and then get aggressive, but unfortunately walks straight into the bullet of Shadow. Ryan will be able to pick up that op as a reward for getting the kill with the Sheriff, though. As the spike down, and now the retake has to happen. Zipan has the Phantom to work with, but Pora not right through the corner of the wall. This is still winnable now for Prodigy, even with 2 players weak. But as I say, that Pora going down is going to be a real problem for them. The Sheriff shots don't connect from Rhyme. Turco gets 1, but he will fall to Meadow. And Fabriken will get the defuse. A good effort from Prodigy, considering what they had to work with in that round. But Fabriken, again, just holding strong.
It was unfortunate there. Obviously, Hip pops the Empress. He's down to about 20 HP. He's not the first person that's spotted coming out of the smoke, but almost baited to kind of push towards screens there and challenge. And he unfortunately falls to the operator. I think it was Shadow, right? Shadow was in screens with the operator. And like you said, it does get traded out. But I mean, if he gets that kill, we know how good the Empress ability is in terms of self-sustain. And we could have seen him pop off there.
If Prodigy don't win this one, I'm a little bit worried for them. They've opted to attack first, which I think is always a brave decision on split. Fabriken might be able to take advantage of this. Zipan gets the opener onto Turco, but Hip does look a lot more comfortable on the Reyna. We've seen him transition over to Raze a little bit as well. Does look best on Reyna. Just having the ability to heal up after every kill or reposition with a dismiss has been big for him. Prodigy will have to go back. They get the res, but what an orbital strike that's going to be. A very reactive one, recognizing the resurrect was a possibility, and Latex completely denying it. But here comes Hip continuing on this bombardment of B Heaven. Gets his second of the round as Fabriken down to just 3 now, but Meadow can't get the double hold. Lucker is there to shoot him in the side. And now this spike will go down, and Fabriken in a 2 versus 3. There is a Rolling Thunder to work with.
This is always a tough site to crack, though. And you can see that Cypher lurk again a factor in this one. A late wall going to block off defensive spawn entry. Pora playing time here. Actually, really nearly unfortunate timing there with that. Latex actually still going to come out worst off in that 1v1. Shadow going to bail away and hold on to his operator. Hip got to be careful here, actually. You don't want to be walk peeking that, especially without a weapon out. Oh, he catches the shoulder, but doesn't opt to fire. And now you're going to see they're going to try and collapse on him. Hip will lose his life and his weapon. Another peek possibly going to come out from screens this side. Pora going all the way down to sight, but I don't think anybody else is going to challenge, and I think that's the wise decision.
Yeah, I don't really want to sacrifice too much of their economy. But Prodigy back on the board with a 3rd. Would have looked quite tough for them if they had lost that round, so I'm sure they're going to be more than happy as Lucker gets back into things with the op. He's made such a difference in previous rounds in this tournament with constant entry frag with the operator and just repositioning and re-peeking from different angles. He's going to be holding an angle at A at the moment, but no one playing ball. It's just a 2-2-1 setup on the attacking side and a 3-2 setup on the defensive side. Guess you could say this is a 4-1 setup, actually, for Prodigy. They're very much looking like they're favoring a B push right now. But still with no one having a spike in hand, they're very much waiting to see whether Lucker was going to catch anything with the op, but the rotate will come through from him now. Back round to B. As time dwindles away, they'll start to be thinking about an execute. Here comes the showstopper. He's gone so far in the sky. Not able to connect. Oh, actually, no. As I say that, Rhyme does fall to it. I didn't think he had connected, but apparently just enough. Hip gets 1. Lucker falls to Zipan, and Zipan...
That's fantastic.
Ongoing here. Zipan makes it 4. An incredible hold from him to make it 6-3 now to Fabriken.
Such a great play there from Zipan. And again, I think it was actually the counter showstopper coming out that put Rhyme down.
Yes.
And then picks himself up a 3-piece to follow on. Really good stuff. And you can see at 11 and 6, he's already having a fantastic game again. Zipan being the top fragger coming out of the open qualifiers and showing that he's continuing that form through the knockout stages, not just the group stages, Dan.
Back to the drawing board for Prodigy, and they're going to try and get this mid control, but this could be a peek with the Leah. Yeah, it's going to be Zipan taking the peek, and he gets a 3-man spray down. They just lined up for him there. Easy peasy when they don't have weapons to fire back at you as well. Pura is going to be the last remaining player. Just the marshal on him, so he's no real threat. And it's whether with this 1 minute and 10 seconds, Fabriken fancy hunting him down just to speed things up, or whether they'll say, actually, we've got the spike. We don't really need to worry about it.
I mean, the one person you don't want to go hunting is a lurker like Pora. He could be anywhere. He could be in any corner. See there, he's going to miss that one, but that's not a player I ever want to go hunting, Dan.
I mean, you're right. Pora is a beast. Has done so much in previous games today, but 7-3, and I mean, would Prodigy be happy with 9-3 here? Because they should surely be expecting to do more. Considering they chose to attack first, they've been like getting like 8-4s.
I mean, we haven't seen that same dominance in mid in this game, and that was a huge factor for Prodigy on split previously. Rhyme having a slow game, and again, Latex there losing out to Lucka, a rare 1v1 with the operator loss. And I did say that, you know, if it's going to be a consideration to making this series of, you know, standout players not having the series they would expect, or is actually going to spot him in the cubby there, but not be able to land anything on him. And I mean, it's definitely a concern when Lucka's not hitting that this is the Prodigy we see.
Prodigy down to just 4. They're having to reposition, and again, they just haven't been able to get these early picks that we've seen them so successfully find in previous games, which is why they haven't found as much success going forward. I mean, even if this did end up as a 9-3, they can still come back. That's what Split has to offer. If you can come on a roll, like, as much as Split has offered a more attacking-heavy presence in this particular tournament, we're still under the impression that Split is still a defensive-sided map. Showstopper comes out as we hear a double fire in the hole.
Little echo.
Fires it into mail room, but no kill found. Prodigy starting to run out of time here. 20 seconds, they have to make a move, and it is going to be A site they opt to go for. They do get the spray down, but Leo and Zipan hold true. Leo. Very dangerous on the Reyna, he seems to be.
Some Reyna on Reyna action there. Love to see it. And actually, you know, shout out to Leo. I said he had a really, really impressive performance on that previous ascent, and he's carried that through to this. 14, 6, and 7 on the Reyna on split. And again, he's one of the players, I'd say, that had a slow few series previously, but it's fantastic to see him performing now when it absolutely matters.
A shoddy buy for Prodigy now going into the final round of the half. They are grouping up on A, but they walk straight into Latex's bullets yet again. Lucka not able to get an opening pick. Time and time again, Prodigy found themselves a player down. Shadow gets one through the smoke onto Pora. And when Pora and Lucka have been taken out of the equation, then you know that this round is going to be somewhat more comfortable, but Hip at least finds a frag onto Zipan. Allows him to overheal up to 150. Do Prodigy opt to go somewhere else now? Still a player down in 3 versus 4. Maybe they'll go for a little bit of a bait. Make some noise in sewers and then rotate back. But no, they're going to opt to go middle. And actually, there is a chance of entry onto B here if they time this right. 3 members over at A. If they wait too long, though, they could be flanked. Boombot will go out just to see if they can get any sort of information. Need to pop through the tripwire, which they do. There's going to be no one to greet them on the B site, so this is going to be a comfortable plant at the very least. The 3-man rotate through the defensive spawn. And then just Meadow on his own up in heaven at the moment, seeing if he can pick anyone out to make this retake a little bit easier. They know where a couple of these players are, but Orbital Strike is going to force them out. Hip will take down Latex. Makes it a 3v3. Nah, Hip unfortunately not able to win that one. Leo, again, proving what a strong player he's been in this particular match, and he pushes on in, gets another, but here's Rhyme now in a 1 versus 2. Blast packs just to try and get him away, forces himself away from the flash, but can't get the spray down. And there's still plenty of time to defuse this one. Fabriken taking the half, 9-3 then against Prodigy. I'm sure that Prodigy would have liked to get more.
Definitely. And again, you could argue that, I mean, the age-old discussion, it's defensive-sided. 3 rounds isn't the worst. It gives you the opportunity to, you know, lose the pistol round and still have a fighting chance. But I don't know. The way Fabriken are playing right now, Prodigy can't be happy with this heading into the second half. This is really fantastic stuff from Fabriken so far. Just on a side note, I'm pretty sure Meadow has to be trolling us with these crosshairs. There's absolutely no way he isn't.
They're gross.
They're absolutely disgusting.
My mother always raised me not to judge people by their crosshairs.
He's messing with it right now. I saw that. I saw that.
It's time to change the crosshair.
He's like, they're on to me. Instantly takes out the camera. Being a Cypher, you do have that knowledge of where those cameras are going to be planted as Fabriken now burst onto the site. And if they can win this pistol, this could be massive. They've got control of screens. The spike is going to go down. And okay, yeah, Prodigy have heaven. They're going to need to push down ramp realistically, because if they go through the defender side, if they go through screens, they're going to be greeted by 2 players. If you drop out of heaven, you're going to find yourself killed by the player in hell. But if all 4 of you...
I mean, this is good, though. Look, Prodigy have stacked up around towards A main, and actually 3 members around elbow and screens. Pora's going to find an opening onto Latex here. Lucka looking for something in corner sight. Rhyme will find Zipband. Meadow's going to come beyond from the box. Pora trades it. Leo now shutting down Pora, but then Hip coming in will find 2 from the screens area, and that is actually a really, really good retake there. A very important round win for Prodigy, Dan.
Yeah, Hip was the vital factor there for me. It's always dangerous, all 4 of you pushing through a choke like that, but because they had positioned themselves so heavily towards screens, it meant that they had to take those long-distance fights, and a couple of them had classics. But Hip just timing it perfectly, waiting for them to turn away at screens and look towards sight, and then he was there to ruin their day as Prodigy get a very much-needed pistol round. If they hadn't have won that pistol, I would be saying that it could have been GG, and Fabriken maybe be walking away with a map lead here in this best of 3. But instead now, it is very much game on.
Last time Pora was on this map against Prodigy, for Prodigy, he posted up 19 frags.
What's that right now? 4? Oh, this is... Oh, no. Oh, no, Rhyme. He's going to find the first, but not the second. Shadow's going to trade it out with the classic Hips there to back him up. He's going to land 2 headshots to the Spectre, and he's going to get himself the 3rd as well. And all we have left is Meadow on the Cypher.
And unfortunately, he has a dart right in his backside, so he ain't getting anywhere anytime soon. At least he takes down Pora. But Prodigy quite rightly take the 2nd. Did Hip not have any ability to dismiss or overheal there? Because he just chose not to after getting 3 frags. It was really, really bizarre.
I didn't quite catch it, but maybe not. Maybe he was skimping out a little bit on the abilities. Obviously, that is the round after they won the pistol round, and I'm guessing he went with the full armor Spectre. So maybe opted to just take the Lear instead, but...
Prodigy, even after those 2 rounds, still have a pretty decent buy here with 3 Vandals to work with and a couple of SMGs. Pora's going to be above them, but Turco with the double. Big kills from him. He's going to be flashed here, does turn away from it, but Leo eliminates. And Leo gets a 2nd onto Hip as well. Maybe saying, well, this is how you reign up, buddy.
Leo has been so good so far in this map. And like I said, on the back of a really strong performance on Ascent as well, it's actually really, really refreshing to see him step up and be the driving force for Fabriken here.
Spike is down, Empress is popped. Lucker is just going to drop straight out of heaven, but he walks straight into Zipan's bullets, and Leo is there to clean up Rhyme as well. 10-5 now to Fabriken. And how does Prodigy's money look after that one? He did keep 2 SMGs. So they might still have a couple of pounds to work with. What is the currency in this world?
Credits. Very generic credits.
Radiant bucks.
Radianite coins.
10
Made
frags
by
between
Sage
Pora and
herself.
Lucker. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it actually
considering we
is.
say how much these two have been an influence to this squad, we haven't been able to get things going here yet. But I say yet because Split can be very different. Showstopper is there and has been popped. Zipan just puts it away. No one to play today. Prodigy do have the player advantage, or at least... No, actually they don't. Sorry, it's a 3 versus 3. My apologies, but Zipan now takes down Turco to at least give them the advantage instead. Orbital Strike comes out to try and force out anyone in heaven. And it is successful, but Pora taking down Zipan. Means it's a 1 versus 2 here, Hardblock.
Yep. And there you go. Nice little crossfire from Latex and Meadow. And that, again, is another round. And this is the point where you start panicking a little bit. When the enemy team has 11 rounds and you're going to buy up some sheriffs because that's all you can realistically do, that's when you start getting worried. And I said this before the game started, but Pora, Turco, Lucker, they've been the standout performers, and they're the bottom 3 right now for Prodigy. So it's got to be something to consider. There's actually 3 stacked up on A main here. Showstopper's going to get popped. Only does about 60 damage to Shadow. He's going to back up, save his life. Spikecam going to get all the information here, but Spike's going to make his way through middle in the meantime. There's one player over in stairs in B Heaven. Maybe going to get an angle into the back, but Leo shuts down Lucker. Rhyme's going to reply. Not going to get that one. The Boombot going to do a lot of damage, though. And Spike now stuck in mail, so going to have to reset a little bit from this. I thought maybe they were going to get B site for free. Rhyme doesn't know how close he is. Zipan going to find one. Going to put the paint shells up into the stairs. And that might be the opportunity for Shadow to move in, but you can see Hip, he's lurking in this sky smoke. A low HP Latex is about to peek out from main, but there you go. Nicely timed. Now they're going to get site control.
Meadow takes down Pura to make it a 3 versus 1, and 12-5 now. Latex gets the finisher. There's so many Latex jokes, there must be there or thereabouts, but 12-5 is the score, and now for Fabriken, they're so close to taking this opening map, and this was my worry with Prodigy opting to attack first. And if things just went wrong ever so slightly when they went onto their defensive half, they've already sacrificed so much and given Fabriken such a cushion to be a little bit more experimentative with how they're going to be pushing.
Latex keeps you safe in dangerous situations there, Dan.
That it does.
It's a form of protection in some way or another.
Well, he certainly has been the protector of the side. And this time he's going to throw down the stim beacon for the whole team to get a little bit of a boost pushing onto the site. Rhyme is just trying to hide away. Can he get a spray down? At least he gets the trade. Taking down Leo, and Leo has been the driving force of this attack so many times. Unfortunately, Pora falls. Lucker gets the trade, and Lucker needs to go huge here. Orbital Strike might force someone right into his crosshair, but it doesn't. Turco gets one onto Meadow. Neural Theft has been popped. And Prodigy are in a 3 versus 2, a must-win 3 versus 2 as well. Latex's crosshair firmly sight onto Garage, but Hip will take him down through the wall.
All he's got to deny this. I was going to say, all he's got to deny this is the aftershock. You see he's going to pop it there, but He's going to get 1 kill for it, but it's not going to buy enough time, that's for sure. Shadow on a little bit of a lurk elsewhere. Didn't quite catch on the minimap why, but Prodigy doubling down, investing the Empress and the orbital strike on that round. And it obviously was a must win because Fabriken have made it all the way to match point, and Prodigy have got to get 6 rounds in a row to send this one to overtime. And that's a tall order.
Any other map, I'd say, yeah, we're probably not going to see it. But there's still part of me that says, well, I mean, it is split. And Prodigy have looked good in the past on split. So I wouldn't put it past them. They just need to reset this economy of Fabriken to give themselves a real chance and maybe just inject a little bit of confidence back into themselves as well. Get a couple of their shots on, get a couple of their big hitters firing once again. Zipan tries to throw in a nade to do some damage, but Lucker's there with the op to shut him down immediately. Prodigy do have the 2-player advantage. It's those early frags that have been so important for them in previous rounds, but Lucker can't get past the latex. And I wonder whether they know if Hip's here. Because if they do, he is in a sticky situation. If they don't, and he might be able to pick up a big double, but I mean, that's a sight to behold, isn't it? And Reyna on 2 sides. Thought about going for the little bit of trigger discipline, but had to go for the shots after she backed her backside right into his face. Latex cleans up, and now it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Still very much doable, but Latex needs the help from Meadow. I mean, Latex has all the tools. He's got orbital strike. He's got an Insyn to work with. Rhyme did spot him out, but couldn't connect with the shots. And there's only 10 seconds now, so they've got to be quick, but it's not going to work out. 12-7. And Fabriken's money is going to start getting worse and worse now. And then that's when the seed is planted in your brain of, well, what happens if we do throw this away? What happens if this does end up going to overtime?
This would be a massive knock to their confidence if this one went to overtime. And again, Shadow, after looking really, really good in the previous series, having a slow one here. Hip stepping up. I've already mentioned Lucker and Pora. I'm not going to chime on. Not going to kick a dog while it's down. Lucker getting a little bit more active now, but it's definitely not over just yet.
Not yet, but Zipan does a little bit of damage and will allow then the push onto ramp. Maybe take control of Heaven here. Shadow does have ult to work with. The Rolling Thunder is there if they choose to use it, but Pora gets the opener onto Meadow. Fabriken on a weak buy here, so they just wanted to try and do something a little bit different, but maybe they were just a little bit too slow. As I say that, we have seen Zipan being able to get all the way through.
Hips all the way bottom mid though, and actually Leo is going to find the right time in there. Orbital strike going to get invested into Heaven. Showstopper invested, he can't get it off. Zipan's going to shut him down, and that was an important kill. If he could have stopped that, the spike would have been down in Mail, and they would have had a chance to actually recover from this round. But now